The growth of pond weed on the surface of a pond is being investigated. The surface area of the pond covered by the weed A meter squared is modeled by the equation. And it says using the model part A, calculate the surface area. Part B, calculate the value of T when A is 260, and part C. At the start, the time T is equals to 0. So we replace T with 0. So we 1200 times e to the 0.04 times 0 divided by 4 times 0.04 times 0. E to the power 0.04 times 0 is e to the power 0, which is 1. So all of this would be 1. All of this would be 1. So you end up 1200 divided by 4 plus 1, which is, it gives you surface area would be 240 meters squared. Part B, calculate the value of T when A is 260, giving your answer to 2 decimal places. What we do is we replace A with 260 and we start by cross multiplying. So 260 times this denominator is equals to the numerator there times 1, because 260 over 1. Remove the bracket. 260 times 4 is 1040, and then e to the 0.040, and 260 times 1 is 260, is equals to 1200 e to the 0.040. We want to put the ones with e to the 0.04 on one side. So we take the 1040 to the right hand side. It becomes minus. And we can now subtract them. 1200 minus 1040. It's like 1200 apples minus 140 apples. That gives you 160. So 260 divided by 160 is equals to e to the 0.040. Now, so here is 260 divided by 160 is that. So you put ln in front. Ln 260 divided by 160 is equals to ln e to the 0.040. Power to the front, 0.040 comes to the front, and ln e is 1. Ln of e is 1 if you put down your calculator. So it's 0.04 times t. You take it to the left-hand side, it becomes divide. So ln 260 over 160 divided by 0.04. You get t to be 12.13. You can round it to 12.14 to 2 decimal places. The pond width continues to grow until it completely covers the surface of the pond using the model. Deduce the maximum possible surface area. You get 300 meters squared. What you can do is put t to be equals to 1000. That means a very long time. You want it to be a very long time. So put t to be a very large number. So for example, 1000. If we put t is 1000, put that in your calculator, your answer will get 300. You can put t to be 5000, and that will give you 300. So after a very long time, it will get to 300 meters squared. And you put down your calculator, and you can see the answer in your calculator. Question number 3. F of x is equals to that function there. Given that f of x is equals to this. Next function. Part A, find the value of A and the value of B and show that C is 0. And then there's part B. What you can do first is use that denominator there, multiply it, take the denominator, multiply it by A, multiply it by B, multiply it by C. So you see I've written it there. 1, 2, 3. And cross out what is common. So it's common in both of them. You cross it in the first one. For A, 1 minus 4x cross out, 1 minus 4x cross out. For B, 3 plus x squared cross out, 3 plus x squared. For C, 3 plus x, 3 plus x, and there's one of them left. So you end up with this equation. Now, to solve it, you put x is minus 3. How did we get minus 3? If you put minus 3, it would make A to become 0. This one becomes 0. And then you eliminate A and you can work out B. So minus 3 goes for there, 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 and there. So A would be 3 minus 3 is 0. So A would become 0. This would become 13B. And this would become 0. And this would make 39. So 39 equals to 13B. That gives 39 divided by 13 is 3. And that means B is 3. We put x to be 1 over 4. The reason is because if you do 1 over 4 times 4, it gives you 1. And 1 minus 1 will be 0. So that means B would be 0. The part there with B will be 0. This part will be 0. And you can find A. So replace x is 1 over 4. Replace x with 1 over 4. And use your calculator. You can work it out. The first side will be 169 over 8. Is equals to 169A over 16. This will be 0 and 0. Now, you will get A would be 169 over 8 divided by 169 over 16. And that gives you A to be 2. So you know A is 2 and B is 3. How do we show that C is 0? We can put any other number we prefer. We can choose x is 0. It's easier to work with 0. So put x is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. When you work it out, it will be 21 is equals to 9a plus b plus 3c. A is 2, we replace it with 2, and b is 3, replace it with 3. So you get 21 is equals to 9 times 2 plus 3 plus 3c. 9 times 2 is 18 plus 3 is 21. 21 minus 21 is 0. 0 divided by 3 is 0, so C is 0. Hence, otherwise, find the series expansion of f of x in ascending powers of x up to and including the term in x squared. Give each coefficient as a fully simplified fraction. So I'm using the hence. That means use the answers from before. So we've got the one fraction there. We have got it into a partial fraction, 2 over 1 minus 4x plus 3 over 3 plus x all squared. If we take the 1 minus 4x to the numerator, it becomes 1 minus 4x to the minus 1. And we can write 3 plus x all squared as 3 over 9 bracket 1 plus 1 over 3x to the minus 2. So now we use this binomial expansion formula, which I've put there in that blue color. So we want to expand the first one, 1 minus 4x to the minus 1. So n is minus 1, x is minus 4x. So we 1 and then n, and then minus 4x plus minus 1 minus 2 over 2 factorial minus 4x squared, and so on. And then we want to expand. The next one is 1 over 3 bracket 1 minus 2, n is 2, and x is 1 over 3x plus minus 2 minus 3 over 2 factorial. The minus 3 comes from minus 2 minus 1. So n is minus 2 and x is 1 over 3x. When you expand the first one, you get that 1 plus 4x plus 16x squared. You expand the second, you get 1 minus 2 over 3x plus 1 over 3x squared. Remove the bracket, 2 times 1, 2 times 4x, 2 times that, 1 over 3 times that, 1 over 3 times that, 1 over 3 times that. You get this expression, and you collect the like terms. 8x minus 2 over 9x gets 70 over 9x. 32x squared plus 1 over 9. 32x squared plus 1 over 9x squared, it gives you that. And 2 plus 1 over 3, it gives you 7 over 3. So you got 7 over 3 plus 70 over 9x plus 289 over 9x squared. What's the best thing about Switzerland? I don't know, but the flag is a big plus. Question number 4. Figure 1 shows a sketch of the curve with equation. Part A, show that the x coding of P lies in the interval 8 and 8.5, and then there's part B, and there's part C. So for part A, we have f of x is equals to x ln x minus 6 root x. So we substitute 8 first for x. So it becomes 8 ln 8 minus 6 root 8. That gives us minus 0.3350. After that, we put 8.5. 8.5 ln 8.5 minus 6 times root 8.5. It gives you plus 0.6977. So there's a change of sign from negative to positive, and it is continuous. Hence, there's a root. From negative to positive, and it's continuous. Hence, there's a root. Part B, show that the x coordinate of Q is a solution of the equation. So what we want to do now, we will use the product rule. I put it there in blue. dy over dx is u dv over dx plus v du over dx. So to differentiate x ln x, you let u be x and v be ln x. So du over dx is 1. Differential of ln x is 1 over x. So you put them together using the product rule. So you have x plus x times 1 over x plus ln x times 1 minus differential of 6 root x. You write it as 6x to the half. So it will be half times 6x to the half minus 1. So x times 1 over x, it gives you 1. This x would cancel to get 1. Plus ln x minus half times 6 is 3. Half minus 1 is minus a half. So at Q, dy over dx is equals to 0. So you put that equals to 0. And now we take 1 to the right-hand side. It becomes minus 1. And take minus 3x to the minus half to the right-hand side. It becomes plus 3x to the minus a half. So that means log ln x is log x to the base e is equals to 3 over root x minus 1. X to the minus a half becomes 3 over root x. So e to that power of 3 over root x minus 1 is equals to x. Use the iterative formula. This is the iterative formula there. And x1 is 2.5. Find the value of x2 and x3 to 3 decimal place. So we start with n equals to 1. When we put n equals to 1, 1 plus 1 there is 2, so we get x2. So x2 is e to the power 3 divided by square root of x1. x1 is 2.5, which we sub in there. And that will give us 2.453. And then to get x3, we will sub x2 back in there. And in the calculator, you will just use this answer button. Press shift and answer. That means it will put in the value for x2 and you'll get your value for x3. So that's your x2 and that's your x3. Question 5. The functions f and g are defined by f of x is 3 over x minus 1 and g of x is e to the 4x. Now they want us to find f of x plus 2 minus 2 f of x, and then there's part B, there's part C. So we want to get f of x plus 2. So we're replacing x plus 2 goes and replaces x. So it will be 3 divided by x plus 2 minus 1. And 2 times f of x, that means we have f of x is 3 over x minus 1, we'll multiply it by 2. So 2 times 3 is 6 over x, and 2 times minus 1 is minus 2. Now we put them two together. 3 over x plus 2 minus 1 minus 6 over x minus 2. Be careful with this minus here. The minus 3 over x plus 2 minus 1 minus 6 over x, and this minus and this one will make it plus 2. Now we have minus 1 plus 2 will give you plus 1. So we can swap them around. We have 1 minus 6 over x plus 3 over x plus 2. So the common denominator is x bracket x plus 2. So this one here will give us 3x. This will give us minus 6 and x plus 2. And this will give us x plus 2 times x. So what you want to do is you would put 3x minus 6x when you remove the bracket minus 12 plus x squared plus 2x. So you will get x squared minus x minus 12 divided by x bracket x plus 2. Part B, find f inverse of 7. So we write f of x is 3 over x minus 1. And we want to make the x I've put in yellow the subject. So let's call this f of x. Let's change it to y. It's easier to write y than f of x. And after that, we want to make the x, which is in yellow, the subject. So we start by multiplying by x. X times y is yx. X times 3 over x is just 3. X times minus 1 is minus x. We take the minus x to the left. It becomes plus x. So yx plus x equals to 3. X is common. Factorize x out. You left y plus 1 equals to 3. To get x on its own, you divide by y plus 1. So y plus 1 goes to the right. You get x is 3 over y plus 1. Now you can swap the x and y back. So you get y equals to 3 over x plus 1. And this y now is now what we call f inverse of x. And if you put x is 7, 3 over 7 plus 1 will give you 3 over 8, which is the inverse. Part C, find the exact solution to the equation fg of x is equals to 8. We know f of x, we know g of x. Fg of x means whatever is g of x, you replace x in f. So what is g of x? G of x is e to the 4x. So we take this e to the 4x, replace x in f of x. So it would be 3 over divided by e to the 4x. We replace this one, minus 1. And they've said fg of x equals to 8, so we make it equals to 8. So minus 1 goes to the right, it becomes plus 1. 8 plus 1 gives you 9. Now you cross multiply. 3 is equals to 9 times e to the 4x. So e to the 4x goes to the right side. So you divide by 9. 3 divided by 9 is equals to e to the 4x. You use ln, put ln in front, ln 3 over 9 is equals to ln e to the 4x. 4x comes in front, power to the front, it becomes 4x ln e. But ln of e is 1, if you put on your calculator. So 1 ln 3 equals to 4x. It's times 4, you can divide by 4. So it's minus 1 over 4 ln 3. Question number 6. A curve has equation, and part A says find dy over dx, and part B find the simplest form, the exact area. To find dy over dx, we can use product rule to differentiate 3x squared y, because there's two things, 3x squared and y, and we use implicit differentiation. So that's the product rule I've put there. So we can have u to be 3x squared and y to be v to be y. So du over dx, differentiate 3x squared, you get 6x. dv over dx, you get differentiate y with respect to y, you get 1 dy over dx. Whenever you differentiate y, you put dy over dx at the end. So now we want to differentiate 2y cubed. 2y cubed, you differentiate it, it gives you 6y squared dy over dx. 3x squared y, when you differentiate with product rule, is 3x squared dy over dx plus y times 6x. Differentiate minus 3x, you just get minus 3. You differentiate plus 2, you get 0. And you differentiate 0, you get 0. Now, we have dy over dx in yellow there, dy over dx in yellow there. So that's common. We take it out of the bracket, and we'll have 6y squared plus 3x squared. So 6y squared plus 3x squared, and then dy over dx, plus 6xy, this one, minus 3, equals to 0. So we can take minus 3 to the right, it becomes plus 3. 6xy to the right, it becomes minus 6xy. And you divide by 6y squared plus 3x squared, and that gives you dy over dx. Now we can factorize. There's 3 there. 6 is the same as 3 times 2. 6 is 3 times 2, and there's 3 there. So 3 can come out of the bracket, and we're left 1 minus 2xy over 2y squared plus x squared. The 3 will cancel. So you simplify it to 1 minus 2xy over x squared plus 2y squared. The curve cuts the x-axis at P. The normal to the curve at P meets the y-axis at Q. Given that O is the origin, find in the simplest form the exact area of triangle OPQ. So let's start with the curve cuts the x-axis at P. When it cuts the x-axis, the y value is 0. And xp is 2. X value is 2 over 3. So that means you put y is 0. So you get 2 times 0 cubed plus 3 times x squared times 0 minus that, and you solve it, you get x to be 3 over 2. That's how we got 3 over 2 there. So gradient of the tangent at P equals to 2, 3, 0. So what happens now is we use that value of 2 over 3, put it in dy over dx to get the gradient. So when you put 2 over 3 for x and y is 0, you get a, so x is 2 over 3, y is 0. That gives you a gradient of minus 4 over 9. Now we're using the equation for a straight line. I put in circle there. Y minus y1 equals to m bracket x minus x1. So y minus 0 is equals to minus 4 over 9 bracket x minus x1, which is 2 over 3. Because we are passing through the point 2 over 3, which is x, and 0, which is y. That will give you the equation. You simplify that, you get y equals to minus 4 over 9x plus 8 over 27. So the normal to the curve at P meets the y-axis at the point Q. So the normal, the gradient for the normal is minus 4 over 9. Because gradient for tangent is 9 over 4. We're using this formula. So using minus, put x equals to 0, you will get y equals to minus 4 over 9 times 0 plus 8 over 27, you get 8 over 27. So you want to find the area OPQ. That means the area I've shaded in yellow there. Half times the base is 2 over 3. The height is 8 over 27. Half base times height, it gives you 8 over 81. Why is it annoying to eat next to basketball players? They dribble all the time.